Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs, it's Sebastian Envy, the strong style, nerd strong style, cinephile on the eve of the endgame release. Now, are we heading towards a full-on evil Nora, or will this Allen family drama be wrapped up in the next episode? Let's geek about that for a few minutes. Now, this new episode of The Flash picks up after Barry has deposited Nora back in the future, telling her not to return, or else he'll feel it in the Speed Force. Now, will he actually feel it, or was he just bluffing? Because Nora went back and forth multiple times, and he didn't know about it, so I'm just thinking he was hoping it was enough of a threat to keep her in place. Barry and Iris have a battle of words and really take some emotional shots at each other, with Barry acting without talking to Iris and Iris being fine with Nora working with Thawne. Iris brings up the fact that Nora had no one else to teach her. Barry jabs back at her with the fact that she's acting emotionally due to the hate that Nora had for future Iris. Now that they're on good terms, Iris wants to hold on to that. Iris decides to use the time bubble, with Ralph tagging along, to head to the future to talk to Nora and bring her back. Meanwhile, Nora seeks counsel with her basically surrogate father Thawne, who tells her about the negative Speed Force and his means of time travel without Barry knowing about it. She tries it, but she's just not mean enough to make it happen. It's only when confronted by Iris that Nora summons the rage needed to go back in time, feeding off the negative Speed Force to do so. We see her emerge at the end of the episode with glowing red eyes, backed by the reverse Flash theme playing in the background. Meanwhile, we get another bit of CW family drama as Caitlyn's father, Icicle, returns. He steals some plot-convenient materials in a bid to turn his estranged wife into an icy being, as well as eliminate the human side of the Caitlyn-Killer Frost combo. The Flash arrives to save the day and frees Caitlyn's mother, while Killer Frost and Icicle engage in a high-flying ice battle that sees more Iceman kind of action than in the span of a couple minutes than all the X-Men movies put together, which is really sad. Icicle somehow wills the evil side from his body, and the family's all together again, just in time for Cicada Grace to show up, kill the former Icicle, make off with the plot-convenient tech for some unknown purposes. We also see that she has kidnapped her younger past self for reasons we don't know. Now, Barry and Iris exchange apologies and resolve to bring home their now potentially evil daughter. So, lots to unpack here, and I seem to be saying that a lot lately. First off is the West Allen drama, and I've said before, I would have told Nora to kick rocks if I was Barry and I found out she was working with Thawne, even after learning what he had done, and I'd still probably tell her that. But Barry didn't exactly make the smartest decision sending her back home. I mean, hey, you worked with Thawne, let me abandon you in the time that you met and started working with that guy. That'll teach you. Now, the conflict between the married couple and the execution of it in the scene felt organic. We haven't had many blow-ups between the two like that, so it was something different. Though I did kind of roll my eyes at Iris writing Barry the letter that she was, talking about, I don't know if I could trust you, blah, 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 considering the fact that at that moment, Iris is not pregnant. So if their blow-up becomes a permanent thing, then Nora doesn't even exist in the first place. Plus, it's also kind of dumb that Iris seems to have this attitude that their family is whole in the present with Nora there, considering that she is from the future. She's going to have to go home at some point. And we learn that it seems like Eobard Thawne, King Big Evil Manipulative D-Bag, may actually have a soft spot for Nora, at least in Iris's opinion from what she observes. I'm of the mind that Thawne is never not ahead of the game. The guy is from the future. He could time travel. He could have seen the outcome, seen his defeats countless times, and planned for them. I think he's steps ahead of the game the rest of the season. I think he'll beat his execution, and he will play a hand in the crisis. And we see in the promo for the next episode that they're bringing back a few rogues we've seen before: Ragdoll, Queen Bee, Weather Witch. We knew they were due back, but we did not know that Nora would be involved with them in some capacity and possibly helping them. I'm hoping that her negative Speed Force usage isn't like a, what color was it, red kryptonite with Smallville that turns Clark evil or amps up his aggressive nature or something with that show. I never really watched it. I'm hoping that it's not something as simple as that, and that some I love you, I'm sorry speech from Barry or Iris will break the negative Speed Force influence on Nora, and she'll be right as rain by the end of the next episode. There's still a few episodes left, and even with Cicada Grace planning some viral endgame, I want Nora to be the big bad. Or if not resolved this season, even better, let it carry on into the next season and into the crisis. I know, I keep mentioning crisis in my videos, and my hope that events are leading there, but it could be the biggest Arrowverse event to date, and everything needs to head that way. Crisis can end Arrow, and if Legends can, let Crisis end that too. It can and should be used to change a stale Arrowverse landscape that will find a resurgence with Batwoman and whatever other super show they want to throw at us in the seasons to follow. And we saw Caitlyn and the Snowpack settle up some long-standing conflict threads. Caitlyn and her mother made up. Their father was brought back into the fold long enough to have an emotional punch to the Nuggets when he's cut down. I've been hot and cold on Caitlyn Snow and Killer Frost over the seasons. I thought her romance with not Jay Garrick was dumb, the one she had with Julian was dumb, and the desperation to get Killer Frost back after Thinker nixed her powers was hokey as well. I think the way they do the gimmick with Killer Frost talking in Caitlyn's mind, it can be executed really corny as well. And yeah, it sounds like I don't like anything about it seems. But hey, I mean, it's nice when some other characters get some shine, since a good amount of the series run, Caitlyn has stood around and spouted out plot convenient science or been a sounding board for somebody. And we saw Caitlyn tested her mother's blood for any signs of meta stuff going on, and while at first there was none, her sample turned white after they all left, leaving the door open for the Elder Snow to develop snow powers or snow personality, I imagine, in the next season, because I don't think they'll do it in the next 3 or 4 episodes that they have left. So, I mean, we will see. It's a lot of family drama this week with Snowpack and Spartan. But hey, it's the CW. That's what they like to do, drama and stuff like that. Again, we'll see. I think an upcoming episode has Cicada Grace planning some viral thing, and then we have some biological weapon on Arrow too. So a lot of their storylines kind of mirror each other in a lot of ways for whatever reason. I guess that happens when you have such a close-knit writer's room or some of the same people working on the same shows and stuff like that. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I said it weeks and weeks ago, I just want Nora to be the big bad. Even if it's set up through Thawne's machinations, let Nora be the big bad. Just have that emotional gut punch that Barry has to fight his daughter, who, like I said, we don't know how she gets involved with the Rogues, why she's helping them. It's kind of corny, like I said, if that her using the negative Speed Force suddenly turns her into, like, negative Nora or whatever. We'll see how it shakes out. I'm hoping to still be surprised and still be pleased in the end with a truly evil Nora. Driven that way to save her dad, but by, ends justify the means type of thing. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys out there think. Comment below. Hit me up on social media. That's below as well. Tomorrow, it's Wednesday as I'm recording this. Tomorrow, Thursday, it's my birthday, and it's Endgame in the evening. Going to see it. Finally, I've dodged spoilers. I've read a couple of reviews that were non-spoiler reviews. Watched a couple of reviews on it that were, again, non-spoiler. I don't want to be spoiled. I just kind of want to, I guess, live vicariously through the people that have seen it already and their joy at seeing what comes across the screen as we, at the culmination of this 10-plus year odyssey that is the MCU. I'm so stupidly excited. Stoked. I'm ready. That's all I got to say. Just ready. Anyway, we'll talk about that when the time comes. Let's geek.